Well, it's been a few weeks now since I got back from the NC500, but before I went, I recorded a video of my sort of thoughts and fears of the upcoming trip. You can click the card above now if you want to watch it. But I thought I'd go and revisit my fears now I've done the ride and see whether they were founded or unfounded, or did I get them right? The biggest challenges I faced. So I'm on my mountain bike today and I'm riding across the South Downs to consider my post NC500 thoughts. The first challenge I identified was the physical challenge. Could I get round 500 miles in 7 days? Could I get fit enough to be able to do that? And I'm pleased to say, well, the answer was yes, I was able to do it. And as the ride went on, I did start to feel a bit stronger. Maybe towards the very end, last day, I felt, yeah, do you know, I'm feeling quite good now. Got about 35k to go.
35?
Yeah, we've done 84.
Oh, wow. Cracked it.
We cracked it. That was a real positive from the trip. Anyone who follows me on Strava will know that I did quite a lot of training for this ride. I put road tyres on my gravel bike. I did a lot of road riding, which isn't my normal discipline. It was a challenge, but it was one I was able to rise to. The other side of the physical challenge is my body. I might be fit enough to do 500 miles. Could my body cope with 7 days of continual cycling, 7 to 8 hours on the bike? Well, the answer is just. I did manage to get round, but I did suffer. My legs are totally destroyed. I can't think about tomorrow. I don't know how they're going to survive. I don't know how I'm going to recover, but let's finish today first. I had really tight quads that got tighter and tighter as the days went on. I brought with me my hand massager, which I reviewed a few months ago, and it was an absolute godsend. I'd never used it so much. It was painful to use, but it really helped ease the tightness in my quads. Ow! Oh. The other problem I got was by the end I developed some nasty saddle sores. Luckily they didn't really surface until the last day, but had there been a day 8, I don't think I could have done it. But did manage to get round and do the ride, but this was a bigger factor than I'd realised, the toll it took on your body. I wasn't alone in this. Other people really suffered with bad knees, saddle sores and bad backs.
I'm in bad shape, mate. It hasn't warmed up at all, so I'm really struggling to pedal to get this patch.
So I was definitely right to highlight this as a challenge. The third challenge I raised was the mental one. I knew that we had a support vehicle following us all the way through the ride, so there was always that opportunity if I wanted to just give up, get in a van and be driven to the end of the day. And mental strength is such an important part of any sort of endurance event, so this was a concern for me. I don't consider myself the most mentally strong person. However, on this score I did pretty well. I didn't get in the van. In fact, no one got in the van. Now, in truth, I did struggle very badly on day 6 when I got extremely cold. Coldest I think I've ever felt on a bike. I was literally shaking as I rode, and I thought, I don't think I can do this. But as luck would have it, the support vehicle was absolutely nowhere to be found. There's no way I was getting in it because I didn't know where it was. That van had been there, I think I just would have got in it. And I think I was really helped by the fact we were a big group. This sort of group dynamic really improved morale, kept people going. I also learnt during the trip to break down the day. Breaking the day down, rather than thinking, oh, I've got 120k in front of me, I'd think, no, I've got 40, 45k, get to that next point, reset, start again. That technique really helped me get through the week. So another really tough day, but I'm not looking at it like that. All I'm thinking about is getting to the first stop, which is about 40k away. Now, the fourth and final fear I had was the weather. No prizes for predicting that might be a challenge, but when we started out, day one was sensational. Warm weather, blue skies, the winds were light, it was just perfect. Quite near the end of day one. It's been a really good day, amazing weather, but over the week conditions kind of worsened. We got extremely wet on a couple of occasions. And on day 6 I got so cold. It's so incredibly cold. Been shaking on the bike. I think the coldest I've ever been on a bike. Over the week I would say we got away with it weather-wise, just about. If the gods had been against us, weather could have been a major factor, and anyone else doing this trip, you could get unlucky with the weather and it could be brutal, particularly the wind. Nice tune. If you watched the previous video, you'll probably remember I asked Craig, the ride organiser, what was his biggest fear of the trip, and he said
getting people in the saddle in the morning.
Now, I don't know if he was joking or not, but this actually did turn out to be quite an important point. With the days as long as they were and the different speeds and standards and abilities that everyone had, if you were the guy who's maybe a bit slower, last thing you needed was to be hanging around waiting for someone who hadn't got up yet. 9:13.
It's not bad, but yeah, Jimbo cost us most of the time. He locked up everyone's bikes.
As a result, the general consensus was when people were ready, they went. But we did continually regroup throughout the ride, so we were sort of spread out and then back together on and off throughout the day. So this was perhaps a bigger issue than I realised. So there you have it. They were my predictions. I think overall I did pretty well. I think I identified all the major challenges that were ahead. I perhaps overemphasised the mental challenge and probably underestimated the physical challenge in terms of the toll on my body. If you'd like to go and watch the 7 days of beautiful weather, windy weather, rainy weather, all weathers, and see me go up some of the longest and most stunning climbs in the UK, just click the card at the top and I'll put a link to the playlist in the description. Thank you for watching today, and I'll see you on the next one.